Today's reading is Romans chapter 12 verses 1 to 8. We're going to revisit our friends St. George and the Dragon today, and today's story could be called George Has an Existential Crisis. Because George has been thinking, what does it mean to be a knight in shining armour when you don't have any armour anymore? And what does it mean to be St. George when you're not killing dragons but befriending them? One day he confided these worries to the dragon. "You're quiet today, George," said the dragon as they were strolling their favourite path through the forest one day. "Sorry, I'm just thinking." "Penny for your thoughts then." "Oh, nothing much." "Well, nothing much seems to be worrying you. You're all frowny, George. Spill the beans. What's on your mind?" "It's just, I don't really know who I am anymore. What I'm supposed to do. Since I made friends with you, and that's very nice and everything, and since I left my armour behind, it's just very confusing. I'm supposed to be a knight, and St. George is supposed to fight evil. Dragons, you know, present company excepted. And here I am peacefully strolling about chatting. I just feel I'm not doing anything useful. It's not what I expected my life to be like." I can see the problem. Actually, it's a bit like that for me too. "How do you mean, Dragon? How could you feel anything like I feel?" "Well, when you think about it, being a friendly dragon is rather unusual. Some of my fellow dragons don't think much of it. Their idea of being dragony is breathing fire all over the place and scaring everyone. They just don't get why I don't want to do that." "Wow. Do they give you a hard time then?" "They do try. Trouble is, I just fly away if they want to fight. Then they get even crosser and call me a coward and such like." "Oh. So do you mean that it's quite hard for you to work out how to be a dragon and be friendly instead of fighty?" "Yes, exactly." "So how do you do it? Any tips for me?" I think it's about being true to yourself, your real self, your best self. Not comparing yourself to other dragons. After all, there's no reason you should think that you ought to be the same as them. Everyone is different. There's no sort of dragon mould to fit into." "Right, I see. So no saint mould either? No knight in shining armour mould?" "Exactly. There's no reason why you should be just like another saint or knight. You have to work out your own way of doing it, the way that works for you and that uses all your strengths and gifts." "Gifts? That's a joke." "Rubbish. You've got lots of gifts. And even since I met you, I must say, George, you've grown some really good strengths. You're a much nicer person now. More relaxed and more honest and open and, well, friendly. I think you're a splendid knight." At which point we should tactfully withdraw and spare George his blushes, because he feels quite bashful about all this. And as we wonder whether we are trying to fit into someone else's mould, we return to Paul's words in Romans. "Be transformed by the renewal of your minds, that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect."